The polar equation is an equation given in terms of the polar coordinates r and theta. From its form, r equals 2 sine theta. This is a polar equation. And also if we say r equals 2, this is also an equation. Polar and theta equals 60 is also a polar equation. The graphical representation of the polar equation consists of every point, or the entire set of points, that satisfies the conditions of the polar equation. Example. If I told you to graph the polar equation r equals 2, how would its graph look in the polar plane? In the polar plane, I go to r equals 2, right? So this second circle, the one with the 2 on it, right? I will draw a full line on the 2, which will result in a circle. On the 2, this graph, y? R is 2. Another example. If we were asked to represent the equation theta equals 60, a polar equation, how do we represent this in the polar coordinate system? Here is the polar plane. We move to theta equals 60. And then we draw a straight line. And 60 and its extension. Is that clear? So this part shown in blue represents representation. The equation. Polar theta equals 60 degrees. The figure next to this represents the polar equation. Which one of these equations is it? Observe that it is at 3, correct or not? The circle begins from the 3 mark. The radius is this distance from the pole out to the third circle. Is that right? Tell me, what does the radius equal? 3, right?
So
R, which represents the radius of the circle. The third circle. Right? So it will be this equation, R equals 3. The polar equation states that R is equal to 4. Its graphical representation is a circle. What is the length of its diameter equal to? At this point, we know that the radius for this inequality equation is 4, correct or not? So if we were to represent it graphically, for instance, like this, we would proceed to the 4th circle and draw a circle, right? The radius will be 4, which is the distance from the pole to the 3rd circle. The 4th circle, is that correct or no? So it will be 4, okay. What will the full diameter be? Notice, this circle, correct or not? Or this is the graphical representation of it. Okay, what will the diameter of this circle be? 4 in 2, and it is 8. So it will be twice the radius. 2 times 4 is 8.